Before we start the movie, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video. The movie begins with a happy family of 4 sitting together in the garden, talking. Kyle plays with his son, while Nicole and Justin watch them. But suddenly, while playing, Kyle feels a sharp pain in his chest and collapses to the ground. The whole family rushes to him in panic, but unfortunately, Kyle dies from a sudden heart attack right in front of his wife and children. A year after Kyle's death, we see Nicole taking her kids and moving to a new city, trying to start a new life. When they arrive at the house they'll live in, Justin likes it and begins unloading the luggage, though he seems upset and angry. Among the belongings is his father's rifle, which Jason treasures deeply. But Justin argues with him because she fears the weapon and insists that it must not enter the house under any circumstances. So Jason leaves it in the car and moves on. While standing alone outside, Jason meets a young man named Chad, their new neighbor who lives next door. Jason learns that Chad is a student at the same school he will be attending, and they agree to meet there. Jason then returns home and helps his mother and sister organize their things. At that moment, a woman named Courtney, another new neighbor, comes over to welcome them. Nicole introduces her to the children, Jason and Justin, and they sit together for a short chat. Courtney offers Jason a job, and he replies that he'll think about it. Afterward, Courtney leaves to let them settle in on their first day, but as Nicole walks her to the door, she breaks down crying, confessing that she lost her husband a year ago and feels overwhelmed by loneliness and pressure. Courtney comforts her, promising to be her friend and ease her solitude. That night, we see Chad alone at home. He hears knocking sounds coming from the pool area. When he goes outside to investigate, a mysterious figure suddenly attacks him from behind, knocking him into the water. Chad struggles to get out, but the stranger holds him down until he drowns. The next morning, Jason is having breakfast with his mom and sister when the news of Chad's death flashes on TV, reported as a drowning accident in his pool. Jason is devastated, as he had just spoken to him the previous day. Later, Nicole takes her children to their new school. There, Jason befriends a boy named Daniel. After gym class, a girl named Clara approaches him, clearly interested, and he is instantly attracted to her as well. They talk for a while, and Jason asks her out. She agrees, but when he checks his money, he realizes he's broke. So he decides to accept Courtney's job offer to earn quick cash. He goes to Courtney, who tells him the job is still available and asks about his experience. She agrees to hire him and gives him the address of his first client. After their talk, she insists he stay for a drink. Though hesitant at first, Jason eventually agrees, and as they talk, Courtney begins seducing him until he gives in and starts an affair with her. Later, Jason goes to his first client's house to do garden work, only to discover that she tries to seduce him as well. Shocked and uncomfortable, he runs away. When he returns to Courtney and tells her what happened, she explains that she didn't actually hire him for gardening. Instead, this is her real business, sending young men to lonely women with absent husbands, to make up for the lack of intimacy. Jason is stunned and tells her it's impossible for him to do such a thing. He's not that kind of person and won't sell himself. Courtney calmly responds that she won't force him and will just find someone else. That night, Jason comes home to find Courtney sitting with his mother. She offers him her ex-husband's car, saying she no longer needs it. The next day, Jason visits her house to collect the keys. She apologizes for not being honest from the start and manipulates him with sweet words, convincing him that the job is easy and lucrative. She gives him the address of a new client, and this time he agrees. That night, Jason goes to the new client's house and sleeps with her. The next day, he returns to Courtney with the money. She takes her share, gives him the rest, and hands him yet another client's address. Jason goes to a client as usual, but suddenly her husband comes home. Jason is forced to hide in the closet until the husband is distracted, then quickly sneaks out. During his escape, however, he accidentally drops his belt without realizing it. When he returns home, he finds his mother waiting for him, upset because he's been staying out late. She asks why he comes home so late every day, and he tells her he's been hanging out with his friend Daniel. She then asks him to call her if he's going to be late and says she feels he's changed and is hiding something. Jason reassures her, saying he's just under pressure and that there's nothing to worry about. The next day, Jason angrily goes to Courtney and tells her what happened the night before, that the client's husband walked in, and that such a risk was never part of their deal. He decides to stop working for a while, but Courtney becomes furious. Their argument escalates until Jason declares he won't just take a break but is quitting for good. He leaves her and walks away. Later, Jason meets his friend Daniel and tells him everything. Daniel says he can take a break but shouldn't quit permanently. When Jason insists, Daniel warns him to be careful and says goodbye. Afterward, Jason is approached by a man named Benjamin, who tells him he works for Courtney. Suddenly, Benjamin attacks him, threatens him with a knife, and hands him the address of a new client, making it clear that the job is not optional, it's mandatory. Meanwhile, Courtney is hosting a party at her house. During the gathering, the same client whose husband had caught Jason arrives. She tells Courtney that her husband found Jason's belt in the house, which led him to divorce her and take everything away. The woman demands a large sum of money as compensation, threatening to expose Courtney if she refuses. Courtney promises to send her the money that night. That night, Benjamin goes to the client's house with an envelope of cash. After handing it over, he asks to spend the night with her. She agrees and lets him in, but he suddenly attacks, attempting to strangle and kill her. She manages to pull out a gun and shoots him in the stomach. Despite his injury, he kills her and escapes, bleeding heavily. Benjamin staggers back to Courtney and begs her to call a doctor. Instead, she refuses, leaving him to die. She knew he had been stealing from her and feared his disobedience, so she lets him bleed out. Once he's dead, she disposes of his body by burying it. At the same time, Jason returns home, only to face his mother again. As usual, he lies that he was with Daniel. Nicole insists she doesn't want him around Daniel, believing he's a bad influence. Jason snaps, yells at her, and storms out. That night, Jason sneaks into Courtney's house to steal a ledger containing the names of her clients and workers, intending to hand it over to the police as evidence against her. He finds the book, but on his way out, Courtney catches him at gunpoint. She drags him to the garage, handcuffs him, and locks him up while she decides what to do with him. Meanwhile, Nicole and Justin have been suspicious of Jason's involvement with Courtney, so they've been watching her house. When Nicole notices that Jason went inside and hasn't come out for a long time, she decides to go in herself, leaving Justin at home. As Justin watches from a distance, he sees Courtney step out of the garage holding a gun. Terrified for his mother and brother, he tries to call Nicole to warn her, but realizes she left her phone at home. Inside, Nicole reaches the garage and finds Jason tied up. Jason tells her the handcuff keys are in Courtney's pocket. Suddenly, they hear Courtney entering. Nicole hides, then ambushes her. A violent fight breaks out, during which Nicole manages to stab Courtney with a screwdriver, grab the keys, and free her son. As they attempt to escape, Courtney intercepts them and points her gun at them. Just before she pulls the trigger, Justin bursts in and strikes Courtney with his father's rifle, the same weapon he had always feared. This final blow ends Courtney's reign of terror. 6 months later, Nicole takes her children back to their old home. They decide to live there again and embrace the memories of Kyle, realizing that no matter where they go, he will always be a part of them. The movie ends here. If you like this movie, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video.